Good morning, everyone. In software architecture, last class we studied the introduction about economic analysis of architectures. Okay, so last class we start with this slide, that is cost benefit analysis method. Okay, what is this cost benefit analysis method? In this chapter we are going to learn about the economic analysis. So this economic analysis using a special method called cost benefit analysis method. Okay, this is having some principles, and those principles are discussed as a set of steps. Okay, so those steps are listed over here. First step is the collate scenarios. Second step is the refine scenarios. Third step is the prioritize scenarios. And fourth step is the assign utility. And fifth step is the map architectural strategies. And sixth one is the determine the expected quality. Seventh step is the calculate total benefit. And the eighth step is the choose architectural strategies. And ninth step is the confirm results with intuition. Okay, we are going to learn all these steps one by one. Okay, so in this class we are going to see a case study of this method. Okay, first. Okay, so here we are using the users who are going to use this method as we are going to call those users as stakeholders. Okay, so what they have to do, they have to exercise this method, and they can authoritatively speak to the utility of various quality attribute responses, and these responses have to be have to be used as a input in the scenarios. Okay, they have to include the same people who were the source of the quality attribute scenarios being used as input. Okay, there are stakeholders. Stakeholders are nothing but the users. Here the stakeholders are representing the CBAM method users. So these users will have the authoritatively, they have to speak about the quality attribute responses, and the same people will be the source of quality attribute scenarios. Clear about this? Okay, now we are going to see the steps. Step 1, collate scenarios. What is this collate? Collate is nothing but the order. Okay, order means organizing. Okay, so organize the scenarios first. Next, the stakeholders should get the chance to contribute new scenarios. If they want to have a new scenario also, they can have it. And the stakeholders have to prioritize the scenarios based on the business goals. This can be the informal prioritization, and it can be schemed. It should have a scheme like high, medium, low, and it has to choose the top 1/3 for the further study. Step 2, refine scenarios. You know what is the meaning of fine, right? Refine means again it has to be polished. Again the rule scenario has to be prioritized. Okay, so it is focusing on stimulus response measures. Next one is the elicit the worst case, current, desired, and best case quality attribute response levels for each scenario. Here, the worst case performance can be 12 seconds, and the best case performance can be 0.5 seconds, and desired response is 0.5 seconds. So this architecture is providing the response on 1.5 seconds. This is called as the refine scenarios. Prioritize scenarios. It has to order. Prioritize and refine the scenarios are based on the stakeholders' votes. 100% votes to each stakeholder, and they have to distribute the votes among all the scenarios, and the voting is based on the desired response value for each scenario. The total votes and choose the top 50% of the scenarios for the further analysis. Assign a weight for each scenario. 1.0 is the highest rated scenario, and the other will weight relative to the highest rated. So this becomes the weighting used calculation strategy overall benefit. Based on that, you can list the quality attributes that concern the stakeholders. Step 4. Assign the utility. Okay, after prioritizing the scenarios, the utility should be assigned. Next, determine the utility for each quality attribute response level. According to the response level, either it can be worst case, current, desired and best case. Conveniently capture these utility curves. Okay, so worst case, current, desired, best case can be, worst case can be 12 seconds, current can be 1.5 seconds and desired can be 0.85 seconds and best case is 0.1 seconds. According to that, the utility can be assigned. Step 5. Map the architectural strategies to scenarios and determine the expected quality attribute. So according to that, response levels that will result with each scenario. Next one is the step 6, which determine the expected quality attribute response levels by interpolation. And this level can be elicited by the utility levels, and the relevant quality attribute should be assigned as cleared in the as explained in the step 3. For example, considering a new architectural strategy that would result in response time 0.7 seconds, we can assign the utility proportionally between 50 to 80. So this is the formula which can be used, the interpolation between two data points. For example, X values are the quality attribute response levels and Y values are the utility levels. By using this formula, the utility value can be measured. So here, the utility value can be either 0.7 seconds and the response time can be 74. Next, calculate the total benefit which is obtained from the architectural strategy. How can you calculate it? Subtract the utility value of the current level from the expected level and normalize it using the votes elicited in the step 3 and sum the benefit up to the particular strategy across all scenarios. Step 8. Choose the architectural strategies based on the VFC, that is cost schedule constraints. So it has to determine the schedule implications and it has to calculate the VFC value and it has to rank order the architectural strategy according to the VFC values. Confirm results with intuition. For the chosen architectural strategies, consider whether these are having aligned with the organization business goals and there are significant issues. Perform other iteration of these steps. Okay, so these are the confirm with the results with intuition. These are the 9 steps has to be followed in CBAM method, cost benefit analysis method. Okay, next case study is about NASA ECS project. Okay, we are taking this as a project. For this we are going to develop the system. For this system we are going to analyze the cost, economic and cost analysis. So it is a constellation of NASA satellites. Earth observing system is a constellation of NASA satellites. Okay, constellation is nothing but a group of NASA satellites which gathers data from US, that is Global Change Research Program. Okay, now the Earth observing system, data information system, that is collects the data from various satellites, download links, stations for the further processing. So this mission is to process data into higher form of information and it is make it available for the scientist in the form of research. So the goal is to provide common way to store the data and the mechanism to introduce new data formats and processing algorithms. Here, it processes the input stream of 100 gigabytes of raw environment related data per day. So, the computation of 250 standard product results in thousands of gigabytes of information is archived at 8 data centers in United States. The system has important performance and availability and modifiability requirements. So the ECS project manager had a limited annual budget to maintain and enhance this current system. So the manager has to use the CBAM method to make a rational decision based on the economic criterion of return on investment. For that, what he is doing, he is using the first step, that is collate scenarios. So collected scenarios in a priority order. It has to reduce the data's distribution failures, which is telling about the manual intervention. Okay, requires manual intervention, and then reduce the data distribution failures so that the low distribution request can be reduced. Like that, submission process and require manual intervention and lost orders, and it is a good method of tracking ECS guest failed and cancelled orders with much manual intervention. Example, like spreadsheets, you can use it. Users need more information on why their orders for data failed. Business, because of limitations, there is a need of artificially limit the size and number of orders. Small orders result too many notifications to the users. The system should process 50 GB user request in one day and 1 TB users request in 1 week. Okay, so they are not yet well formed, and some of them do not have defined responses. So it is resolved in second step. So these are all the scenarios. All these scenarios are collected in the order. This is called as collate scenarios. According to the collate scenarios, the scenarios again refined, paying particular attention to the precisely specifying their stimulus response measures. According to that, worst case, current case, desired case and best case response goals for each scenario were elicited in the recordable format. So there are some 10 scenarios. All those scenarios have been given according to the worst case, current, desired and the best case. So if you take first scenario, it is having 10% of hung and 5% of hung, and desired result 1%, best will be 0%. Like that, for each scenario there is a recorded information. Next, prioritize scenarios. Here only we studied the voting system. So the voting refined representation of scenarios. Close-knit team deviated slightly from the method. Rather than voting, they can choose to discuss each scenario, arrive at a determination of its weight via consensus. So the vote is allocated to entire set of scenarios was constrained as 100. So according to the stakeholders, they have to multiplies of 5 and felt this was a responsible resolution. More precision was there needed or justified. So in the previous scenario, we have seen only the cases. Here in this prioritized scenario, we have given the votes for each scenario. For example, if you take the first scenario, 10 votes. Second scenario, 15 votes. Third scenario, 15 votes. The multiples of 5 have been given as a vote for each scenario. Next, assign utility. So according to the cases, the utility should be assigned for each scenario. Worst case means utility score will be 10. Current case means utility score will be 80. Desired case means utility score will be 95. And best case means utility score will be 100. Clear? So according to the previous recorded informations, here the utility scores are assigned. Next, develop the architectural strategies and determine the expected quality attribute response levels. Based on the requirements implied by the preceding scenarios, set of 10 architectural strategies was developed by the ECS architects. For each architectural strategy scenario pair, the response levels are expected to be achieved with respect to that scenario are shown. So this is the strategy. Here you can see the name of the strategy. According to the description of the strategy have been given, and scenarios which are affected based on this strategy has been given here, and current response, expected response. So store an order as soon as it arrives in the system. and affected scenario will be 3, and affected scenario will be 5, and affected scenario could have been 6 based on this order persistence on the submission. Order chunking would be 8, order bundling should be 9, can be 9, order segmentation can be 4, like that. The scenarios which are affected by this strategy have been listed here. The same way 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th strategies, and what are all the scenarios have been affected and what is the cases. Next, determine the utility of the expected quality attribute response levels by interpolation. So it is characterized with respect to the set of scenarios. Using these scores, we may calculate via interpolation. So the utility of the expected quality attribute response level for the architectural strategy or scenario pair has to be calculated. Step 6. This is showing the results, which is current utility and expected utility, and the scenario which is affected by using this strategy name. And how can you calculate the total benefit obtained from an architectural strategy? So this can be calculated by using this formula. BI is telling about the benefit, and this is telling about the sum of benefit that occurrences of each scenarios. I to j means from 1 to 3, like that, and the relative weight of that scenario should also be multiplied and sum that should be assigned as the benefit. In the step 7, the total benefit strategy has to be calculated, and it has been given here. Raw architectural strategy, normalized architectural strategy, total architectural strategy. Okay. So these are all the strategies. Next, according to that, choose the architectural strategies based on the VFC subject to the cost constraints. So to complete the analysis, team should estimate the cost. So the estimations is based on the experiencing with the system and the return on investment with architectural strategy. So using this VFC, we are able to rank each strategy. The ranks are roughly following the ordering in which strategies were proposed. This simply validates stakeholders' intuition about which architectural strategy is going to give the greatest benefit. Step 8 is telling about the benefit based on the formula which we studied for the benefit. This formula, based on that, the benefit should be calculated. This is only the benefit, this is the cost, and it is telling about the strategy. According to that strategy, rank has been given. Okay, so which is first, which is next, like that. So the results of the CBAM exercise. So this method is ordering the architectural strategies based on their predicted VFC. However, there are social and cultural benefits are also there. So this provides structure, and this process forces the stakeholders to make the scenarios clear in advance and assign the utility levels to the specific response goals. Finally, it produces clarification of both scenarios and requirements. So, what we studied so far in this chapter is given as a summary. First, we have to know utility response curve of various scenarios, and applying the theory practice. A number of practical difficulties are there which can be solved using CBAM method, and we have the another technique, that is ad hoc decision making approaches, and based on those tools we can frame the structure, and the discussions and decision making is an enormous benefit and discipline development of a complex software system. So with this, the chapter is getting over. In the next class we will start with a new chapter. Thank you.